Kia ora koutou. How to deposit your papers at Te Herenga Waka and make them open. So to do this, go to your Elements profile page. Now Margaret Hyland has kindly allowed me to use her profile for this demonstration. So go to your publications by clicking on Publications. Then navigate to the paper that you wish to deposit. So this is the paper I'm looking for, Understanding the Formation of Plasma Sprayed Splats Through Interface Observation. Now this is a journal article and it was published in the journal Applied Surface Science, published on the 1st of March 2019. Now the general point to make when you're depositing publications, have your electronic files to hand. So in this case I have got it to hand and I can go ahead and click the green deposit button. That takes me to the deposit page, and you'll see on this page on the left hand panel we have deposit advice, and there's two tabs. Institutional advice gives you general advice on depositing here at Te Herenga Waka, and the critical tab is the Sherpa Romeo advice. Now what that does is give you the policies that apply to this journal. So these are the publisher's policies that spell out exactly which versions can be deposited and which can't, and what the conditions are that apply to any deposit. So there's three tabs, each applying to the different versions of a paper. We've got Submitted, Accepted and Published. Start with Published on the right hand side. Some publishers will allow the published version of a paper to be deposited, and that will be explained here. So for this journal there are three options, and the thing to look for is the location institutional repository. So that is the terminology that's used in the location field. So our open access repository is an institutional repository, and this line above is important. An additional fee is required to make the article open access. So the published article could be made open, but it would require payment of an additional fee. So we're not going to do that today. Going to move to the next tab to the left. So this is the policies that apply to an accepted version of an article. Accepted version of an article might be known as author accepted manuscript or postprint, and it's the version of your manuscript that's been through peer review, the last version before publication. So again there's three options, option 1, 2 and 3, and the one that applies to us is institutional repository, option 2. Now the next three lines are important, especially this one, embargo. So what this means is 24 months from the first online publication date you could deposit your accepted manuscript. Next line is about the license. That just spells out the license that the publisher requires for a deposit. And the third one, conditions, must link to publisher version with DOI. Now you won't have to worry about this generally, as the Elements system and our repository handle that automatically. So for this paper we've discovered that we can deposit it in our institutional repository after a 24-month embargo. Now you might recall this article was published on the 1st of March 2019, and we're now at the 15th of March, 2 years later, so the embargo period has expired. So we can go ahead and make the deposit. To do that, come to the right hand panel here and choose File. Then navigate to where you have the file, here it is, and then click Use this file. You'll notice I've got a PDF of the manuscript, so that means it won't be able to be edited. That's the best version to upload. Click the blue button, Use this file, and then there's just two remaining steps. If the article was still embargoed, you would check this box and choose the relevant embargo period. Now it's important to note this is calculated, this period from the drop down 6 months, 12 months, etc. is from the date of deposit. So you have to do a calculation of how much time is remaining in the embargo period. So if the embargo was going to expire within 12 months from today's date, you could choose 6 months or 12 months and so on. Just requires a bit of a calculation. And then once you've done that, you can forget about it. The system will keep track of it and your paper will be made open after the embargo period has expired. So no embargo for this particular paper. So we check the next box to do with reuse license, and you'll see here it's the CC BY NC ND license, so simply choose it from the drop down. And that's the final step. We're now ready to click the blue deposit button. Now once you click the deposit button and make your deposit, this accepted version of your article will feature prominently in our Open Access repository, and it will be discoverable in Google, Google Scholar searches and the like. Thank you for listening. Ka kite anō.